What's up everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to do a soft glam Valentine's Day look, but I'm only going to use drugstore products. All of these products that I use are affordable, so I'm so excited. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. For the eye look, I actually use the new e.l.f. Bite Size Very Bad Shadow, so I'm so excited to show you guys this one because this is the one that I don't think I did a tutorial on yet. I did my eye makeup only using this palette and I honestly am so shook how good this formula is. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do a step-by-step tutorial. So let's go ahead and jump into it because I love using drugstore products. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Let's get into the video. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the hydrating primer from COLLAB. And I really need a hydrating primer because it's winter. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in and apply that to my T-zone. My skin is already moisturized, so I don't really need to go in with anything else, just that. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna jump into concealer first, then foundation. So I'm gonna go in with Ivory Sand, and this once again is from COLLAB Beauty. I really like their face products. Their foundation is so good. I'm so excited to try it on here so you guys can see how good it is. So I'm gonna pick up the TATI Beauty BLENDIFUL. This is the only thing I'm using that is not drugstore. I'm gonna go in with the concealer underneath here. And I'm just going to do a couple dots right underneath there. I'm going to go in and cover up that. Even though I'm gonna go in with foundation, I just want that pimple to have extra coverage. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of concealer underneath, just really where I want to conceal. If you guys notice, I don't go super up above here because if not, that concealer is just going to sit in my fine line. So I usually try to go a little bit underneath. Alright, so I'm going to hold my BLENDIFUL kind of like a taco shape, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of the pressure of my fingers to kind of blend that in. Alright, so I'm going in with the COLLAB Beauty Foundation, and this is in the shade Beige. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting that onto the skin and then blending it out with the BLENDIFUL. It's like a satin finish and it has pretty good coverage. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that all over the skin and then blend it out with the TATI BLENDIFUL. So I'm going to hold it with a little bit of pressure and just blend that into the skin. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and actually spend a lot of time just like really pressing in this foundation into the skin and just making sure it looks really smooth and blended before I go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, so this is what it looks like with foundation and the concealer underneath. So I really like it because it gives you kind of like a satin finish. It's definitely not fully matte. I like this foundation because it's more medium to full versus so full where it feels really heavy on the skin. This one just feels really light to me. Okay, so I'm going to go into the setting powder. It's from the same brand, COLLAB. Alright, so for my foundation, I mentioned I went in with the shade Beige 4. So I'm going to go in actually with their setting powder, which is in Sand and Beige, which is 3-4. For like a soft glam, I usually like to go in with a setting powder that's kind of similar to the foundation that I use, just to use like all over the face and kind of set everything. So it does come with this little poof right here. I do have the TATI BLENDIFUL, the small one, but I'm actually going to go ahead and use this one right here. I actually liked this small little poof that it came with, so why not just use whatever it comes with. So I'm going to go ahead and use that, and then before I go ahead and just put this onto the skin so that it's not all patchy, I'm going to go ahead and blend it onto my hand first, and then I'll go in and set the face. So there we go. I went ahead and just kind of blended it out on my hand. I'm going to take off a little bit just because it seems like there's a lot on, but there really isn't. You guys will see. So I'm going to go ahead and set the face. I don't like to go in with a lot of setting powder. I like to go in with a little bit. So I do like to kind of press it in, especially if I want my makeup to last all day. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of press it into the skin. And I'm definitely going to set the area where I had that little pimple just to make sure it doesn't go throughout the day. And as you guys notice, I am setting my face just in this area. I'm not setting it close to my under eye. If I do that, it's just going to go into my fine lines and not look good. So I am going a little bit lower. And I'm going to lightly set this area right here. I do have a little bit of bumps underneath here, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of set that area lightly. So I'm going to pick up this LA Girl Cosmetics Blush Babe palette, and I'm actually going to pick up the shade right here. I'm going to use the Baby BLENDIFUL to apply that. I really like the way powder applies with the Baby BLENDIFUL, so I'll go ahead and actually go in with this light pink shade right here, and I'll take off a little bit on my hand before I go into my face with that. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of like smile and then apply to the apples of the cheeks. Alright, so the way I'm applying this is I'm sort of like patting it in and just really gently applying that onto the skin. So now that I've applied a blush, I'm gonna go in with the LA Girl Moonlight Magic Highlight Palette, and I like this because this is very subtle. It's not like a beaming highlight, which is what I want. I want it to be more of a like a soft glam type of look. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with the lightest shade right here, and I'm actually going to pick up the tip of my Baby Blendiful and apply that into the areas where my face just naturally gets highlighted. So I always like to go in here, just like where the light naturally hits my face. Alright, so that is it for the face. The next thing I'm going to do is go in onto my lips. So I'm just going to go in with a lip liner and then a really nice gloss, and that is it. And then I will go ahead and do my eyes on camera. Alright, so I'm picking up the LA Girl lip liner in Sugar and Spice. Let me go ahead and apply that onto my hands. So it's just like a nice kind of pinky brown type of liner. Alright, so I'm picking up this LA Girl gloss topper, and I actually really like this. It smells really, really good, and it's not sticky at all. It is actually such a good gloss, and it's not pumping or anything. It's just like a regular clear lip gloss, that's all. So this actually smells exactly like the old Victoria's Secret lip glosses. If you guys remember that era, it smells just like it, and I think that's why I like this lip gloss so much. So that is all I'm gonna do for the lips. I'm just gonna leave them like that, make them look juicy and nice. So now I can go ahead and go into the eyes and kind of just finish up everything. So I'm picking up the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade Medium Brown. So this is perfect because this actually matches my eyebrows really nicely. And I'm going in really, really light strokes, and I'm going in exactly the direction that my brows are naturally growing in. So while I do this, I'm just gonna brush it out just to blend everything together. I would say this one's actually very similar to the ABH one, but I actually think I prefer this one more, and it's from the Drugstore. So yeah, this is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil in the shade Medium Brown. So for my eyeshadow, I'm gonna use the Bite Size eyeshadow from e.l.f., and this one is in the shade Very Bad. I'm actually only gonna use this one. I'm not gonna pick up anything else. I'm only going to use one eyeshadow. I'm only going to use one of these so I can show you guys that you really can create a look with just one of these. You don't need to go in with anything else. So I do really recommend going in with an eye primer, and this one's really good, and it's only $5. So this is the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer, and I'm in the shade Rose. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get a brush and put that into the eyes, and then I'll go ahead and start doing my shadow. Alright, so I'm just gonna take a really big brush like this and just apply that onto the eyes and just kind of blend that out. You can use your fingers too if you like. Alright, so I'm bringing that shade, that dark shade in the palette, the darkest one, and I'm using a blending brush, and I'm just applying it really, really gently. So yeah, as you guys can see, I'm going very gently, applying that into my outer corner and just sort of bringing it in halfway. I'm not gonna bring it in all the way, but just like right here. Alright guys, so this is what it should look like. Alright, so I'm going back into the Very Bad Bite Size Shadow, and I'm picking up this pretty big brush. It's like a fluffy brush. So what I'm going to do is pat off the excess and then go into the lid. And I'm going to be so gentle when I do this because I don't want to mess up the blend. And I'm just going to focus on the outer end right here, kind of applying that with the dark brown. And I'm really just doing this to kind of blend out the area, make it look really, really nice and seamless. As you guys can see on my brush, I really don't have that much on it because I don't want to make a mistake. I rather build it up than go in with a lot. So I'm just applying that into my outer crease right here, kind of into the brow bone, going back and forth, just blending it out, making it look really nice and diffused, and that is it. Alright, so for my last step, I'm actually going to go into the palette and just use my finger. If you want, you could use a brush and actually spray it with some Fix Plus or anything like that. So I'm going to use my finger to apply this shimmer shade, and as you guys can see on my lids, I left a lot of space open so that I could go in with the shimmer and apply that onto the lid on the area where I didn't add any shadow. And you guys can see I'm just sliding that on. I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. You want to be really gentle when you do this. And if you go ahead and kind of pat it on, it might leave a little bit of fallout. So what I'm doing is just kind of sliding it on. And as you guys can see on my face, there's absolutely no fallout, so that is good. Okay, so for my last step, I'm going in with the darkest shade right here from the palette and picking up that same blending brush I used previously. And as always, make sure you're always tapping off any excess so that it doesn't get all messy and all over the face. Now with my brush, I'm just going to add a little bit right here into my outer corner and blend that in with the shimmer shade so that we kind of have a bit of a gradient going on from like a medium pink shade to like darker. So the way I'm applying this is I'm kind of just pressing that in like this, almost like sliding it onto the lid. Alright, so that is what it looks like for the lids. I'm gonna go in and actually apply a quick liner, like a top line. Alright, so now I'm going in with my LA Girl Fine Line, and this is really nice for going into your top liner. If you guys see how thin it is, so this is really nice to go in and just kind of create a quick little wing, like something really thin though. I'm gonna go ahead and just apply mascara. This is the LA Girl Lash Lifting Mascara. So what I'm gonna do with my mascara is apply it to both my lashes, and then if I have any leftover, I'll go into my bottom lashes. But I'm never gonna go into my bottom lashes first because I don't want that to be like all wet and messy. Alright you guys, so that is pretty much it. I feel like I'm fully done with everything. The last thing I'm going to do is actually go in with a little bit of bronzer just because I want to bronze up the face. But I'm only going to go in with a little bit, and I'm actually going to pick up the e.l.f. Perpetually Tan bronzer. I really like this, especially for warming up the face. I'm going to go ahead and just pick up a big fluffy brush like this and then just kind of apply that onto the face just because I want to add a little bit of bronzer now that I have this eye look going on. And the way I'm applying bronzer is going to be in threes. So I'm going to go from my forehead to here and then here. And I'm always going to bring it down below as well. We don't want there to be like a contrast. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look. I am glad I went in with that bronzer. I just kind of wanted to bronze up the face a bit, especially since I did go in with such dark shadow. So I felt like going in with bronzer just kind of completed the look. So this is the bronzer from e.l.f. This is in Perpetually Tan. I really like this bronzer. Alright you guys, so this is the final look. I really like how it came out. I've been dying to use that e.l.f. Bite Size Shadow. I've been using a ton of the other shadows, but I didn't have a chance to use the Berry Bad one, so I'm really glad I tried it out. I actually really like it on the eyes. So yeah, this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments below what other videos you guys would like to see. Make sure to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you can be notified for every time I post. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone.